Bada-bum, bada-boo. Don't know what that is. Let's get stuck in, people. Well, hello there. Perfect drafters. How are we doing? Are we good? Good. Right. What do we got in the perfect draft? We have got, people, a Thornbridge Brewery beer. Now then, Thornbridge are quality. Simple as. And this little beauty, I've had in a can before, and I enjoyed it out of a can. So I'm thinking, out of a keg, it's going to be a little pleasure. That's what I'm thinking. Am I beefing it up too much? Beefing? Am I bigging it up too much? I don't know. It's an IPA. It's 4.3%. It's £38.90 of your finest. And it's the Green Mountain. Yeah. So, are we going to scale Beer Everest? That was terrible. Awful. Now, Thornbridge, they've had a belter on there before. One of my very first reviews was Jaipur. In fact, I think that was my very first keg review in this room with the original Perfect Draft. What a journey we've been on, Perfect Drafters. What a journey. We've literally scaled that Green Mountain, and now we're at the summit, or something like that, because now we're going to try the next Thornbridge beer on this little beauty. Now then, I do like an IPA. I've said it many a time. I like a quality lager, but often an IPA for me has to be over that 5% to really give it that punchy punch. So I'm a little bit nervous about that, the fact that this is 4.3%. But I will be looking for those citrusy notes. I will be looking for a bit of haziness and basically a nice kind of bit of a thicker, citrusy mouthfeel. That's what I'm hoping for. You don't need the bubs. You don't need the bubs. But what we have got to compare, really, with this keg is some of the other quality IPAs that are on this machine. My number one last year, and I think it was an absolute beauty. What an introduction. I just hope they never take it off, is the Vocation Life and Death. That was an absolute beauty. It was a joy, it was a pleasure, but it was quite a bit stronger at 6.5%. And you're also tipping over that 40 quid mark with £41.90 for that Vocation Life and Death. So this really, in terms of IPAs, you could more compare to the Game of Thrones Jobbo at 4% and also the Goose Midway at 4.1%. And let's not overlook that long-staying IPA, which I do absolutely love on this machine, the Goose IPA. And that one comes in at 5.9%. So this is definitely amongst the more session IPA beers on the Perfect Draft. So it's nice to see a British brewery on there. I do like Thornbridge. Like I say, that Jaipur was an absolute beauty. The Shelby, that's the other Thornbridge one. I was a little bit let down by that. I thought that was a bit of a lager IPA hybrid. It tasted more like a lager to me than an IPA, so I'm hoping for more kind of fruitiness to this one. If you are looking on the Beerhawk website, I've spotted what they've just introduced is the price per pint, which I thought was quite interesting. Have a little clicky clue on the I symbol, and it actually takes into account the kind of beer tokens, the keg returns, that kind of thing, and says the price per pint. So this one's actually saying £3.04, which, to be fair, compared to pub prices, is pretty good. So people, without further, I'll have a snicky snacky snoo afterwards. But let's have a look at that keg. Let's do the pour. Let's have a look, see if we've got any bubs. We don't need many for an IPA. We know that by now. I'll bring it in. We'll have a look anyway. I'll have the usual sippy suppy soo. I'll say what I kind of think to it, but I won't yet rate it until after my snack, because I do like a beer snack. And sometimes I think that just complements and lifts the score a little bit. So we'll do that. We'll do it. Let's get on with it, people. Let's have a look at that keg. Okay, there we go then, people. There is the Green Mountain. The Green Mountain. Yeah. Bit of a rip on the label, the wrap around there. Won't hold that against it. We're talking 4.3%, there it is. It's got that kind of green background with a lovely few swirls, some golden swirls. Yeah. There's the Thornbridge logo branding. Yeah. Not much more to say about it than that. I mean, I think I've used that font myself in Photoshop. Standard. Thornbridge, Green Mountain, 6 litre PerfectDraft keg, 4.3%. Let's give it a pour. Right then, people, here we go. So, I did just mention it. One of my faves, the Goose IPA on this little beauty. But I've got the glass. That's not what's in there, is it? It's the Green Mountain from Thornbridge. Right, let's give it a pour. Bring it in. Okay, there we go then, people. Look at that. Lovely white head. It's a beauty. There's the goose. It ain't goose. This is Green Mountain. Yeah, from Thornbridge. So just looking up at there, it has got a bit of haziness. Lovely amber colour. Absolute beauty. Can't see any bubs. It is actually looking quite thick. Quite thick for that, 4.3%. I'm getting some citrus sniffs. Let's get stuck into the little beauty. Bada-boom, bada-boo. Don't know what that is. Let's get stuck in, people. There we go. Look at that. Right, I'm able to look a little bit closer now, and I'm seeing some slow moving bubs. There's a bit of carbonation in there. Yeah, I mean, my ring light, I've got a ring light, kind of shines through that to me. And it is quite light, actually. It's like I say, it's a kind of an amber colour, like a honey colour. Yeah, amber nectar. That's Foster's, isn't it? Right, anyway. We're talking Green Mountain. We're talking Thornbridge. Cheers, Perfect Drafters. Let's give her a sippy suppy soo. Quite a bit of carbonation to that, actually. Surprising amount. Definitely lemony. There is that citrus there. Good mouthfeel. Nice. I think you can tell a bit of quality with it. I'm glad it's not like the Shelby. I am. I know it's got its lovers, and it seems to have stuck around a while a lot of kegs are being discontinued and stuff. That Shelby seems to be hanging on. The peak a little blinder. Yeah, that's good. It's good. Is it better than a Vocation? Definitely not. But then you can't really compare it. It is a session IPA. So it hasn't got that punchiness. It hasn't got that punchiness. It's got almost a bit more of a, I don't know, I'm not going to say soft drink, but it's an easy drinker. It'll go down very easily. You've obviously got also now Punk IPA as well. And that, if ever there's a beer that's going to have its lovers and haters, it's that, just by the fact that it's brewed on. But I thought Punk IPA on this was very good. I really did. Punk IPA beats it as well. But we've got to be fair. Is it a comparison to the Goose Midway? It's close. It's close. You can tell it's from a quality brewery. It's got a fantastic mouthfeel. Goes down very easily. Flavours coming through. I have got it set to 5 degrees.
Flavour's coming through nicely. For me, it does lack that punch. But then, you know, on a review night, which I sometimes do, I will only have one or two. So that's why I often bias towards the punchier ones, because I'm only having one or two. If I was with a few mates, I've got a few mates, and I was having a sesh in the little Big Bold Reviews HQ bar, I probably would say that's not a bad one to pop on. I just don't know if I'd pop that on or a Goose Midway if we wanted an IPA session. But no, definitely smooth enough, got the right levels of carbonation, slow moving bubs, nice mouthfeel, citrus notes of the IPA that you'd expect. Nice, quality. I will tell you, if I would have that or a Goose Midway after a Snicky Snacky Snoo. Wasn't in Tesco's, you'll be glad to hear. Not when I was buying these anyway. I was in the other favourite of mine, Home Bargains. So, ho, ho. It's O-H-O. So it's like you want to say ho-ho, it's not. It's like oh-ho. They're lentil chips, and apparently they're flaming hot. Only 17% fat and 13% protein. Yeah. It is after Christmas. You've got to think about the waistline. You've got to think about it, people. Vegan and vegetarian friendly. 451 kcal. Energy per 100 grams. Which is what this bag is. Wowzers. Right, any blurbage. Wowzers. It says something. It says on the back, clean label. I've no idea what that means. Absolutely none. Just got the ingredients. Keep in a dry, cool place. No blurbage. Not one bit of blurbage. You'd have thought they'd put a little bit of effort in, wouldn't you? Sell me your snacks. Yeah? Sell me. Like Jerry Maguire type thing. Show me the money. Show me the snackage. Show me the blurb. None of that. Anyway, lentil chips, flaming hot. The twisty. No, that's it. Right, let's crack in. I've got to give it a shake. Right, just in case. Right. I've had some lentil chips and lentil snacks before and not minded them. And they are meant to be a little bit healthier. Now, what I do sometimes find is, though, they lack the satisfactory crunch of the potato snack. So, is that the case with these? Let's find out. The shape reminds me of a knick-knack. It's not a knick-knack, nicky-nacky-noo, unfortunately, because I do like knick-knacks. That said, I don't know if I don't like these. Let's get stuck in. Here we go. Ooh. I'll tell you what. They're good. They're very good. They're a cheeky surprise. Ooh. I've got to be honest, I was struggling down that snack aisle. I normally get a lot of suggestions saying, Boldy, try this snack. Boldy, try that snack. I've even had people sending me pork crackling and stuff like that. All good. You know, I mean, Posh Pig sent me those ghost chili jobbos. They were hot. Were they enjoyable? They were nice, succulent kind of pork crackling, but it was like proper blow your head off. Nobody suggested these to me. And I'll be honest, I was on the treadmill of life of snicky snacky snooing. Because I think I was kind of like, well, I always get a snack with a beer. Better get another one. Let's trudge down this aisle. Is there anything new? Not really. Is there anything old? Plenty. There's some D-nuts. There's some Nobby's nuts. There's some rice cake things. You know. There's some Doritos. There's some Stacks. There's some Pringles. Stuff I've had. Kettle chips. Like them. I've had them. Walkers. Obviously I've had them. Max Strong. Love them. Had them. Who's had them? I've had them. I've had them. But these, I just thought, I've never heard of them. No one suggested them, but I like Flaming Hot. And I thought they are lentil. You know, they might not be that good. But blimey, Baldy, you picked a beauty. Oh. I'll tell you what. I'm recommending them straight off the bat. Lentil Chips Flaming Hot. Ho, 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 ho. Terrible name. Terrible name. O-H-O. Exclamation mark. I feel these are being bypassed by many a person. For number one, the fact they've got no blurbage. Number two, they've got a terrible name. And they should be tried. They've got a good kick. They've got a lovely texture, lovely crunch, lovely shape in the mouth. It's like they're not too big, they're not too small. You put two in and it's just right, for my mouth anyway. They're good. I like them. Let's go in for another sip. Yeah, it's good as well. I always think a snack just lifts the old beer a little bit more. Lovely. Right. Would I have that or a Goose Midway when I'm having a little session of an IPA with my friends? No. I'm still going to have the Goose Midway. Sorry, but I am. Only just, and it surprises me that I say that, because Thornbridge are good. I just think that Goose Midway just pips it. The Goose just pecks in front. I really think it does. Not saying this is bad at all. It's just that just pips it. So for me, I would say also Ghost Ship pips it as well. Ghost Ship is better. It's a tricky one because I do like it. I haven't yet had that Game of Thrones one, and that I'm thinking could potentially, from what I've heard, not be as good. Would I buy it again? Probably not, because for £39.80, I think you can get better beers. I think you can get better IPAs on there. I just do. Grab a short date one if it's a decent discount because it's short dated, yes. But would I buy this over a Ghost Ship? No. Certainly wouldn't buy it over the slightly stronger ones in terms of Goose IPA or a Vocation. No way. I'd buy it instead of a Shelby, but I don't class that as very much of an IPA. That's where I'm putting it. But in terms of rating, I would say I'd give it a 7. I'd give it a 7. Not a disappointing 7. I'm happy enough with it. I'll fire it down and I'll enjoy it. Those, no one recommended these to me. Nobody. And if you did, I'm sorry I missed that comment. But what I'm going to say to you is this. Get yourselves down home bargains. And if they've got these belters on, give them a go. The crunch is fantastic. The mouth feels brilliant. The size of them is spot on. I love the little twistiness. They're beautiful. And the flaming hot kick that you get do think Flaming Hot Monster Munch. That's about the level, which I think is acceptable. I really do. It's not saying it's going to blow your head off. It's just saying the Flaming Hot. They're almost like Flaming Hot Cheetos as well, which were good, and the Wotsits, which were also good. But those, I would put up with those snacks. Yes, the giant Wotsit Flaming Jobbos. Don't know the exact name for them. And yes, the Flaming Hot Cheetos. The twisty ones. I'm going to put these up there with them, and I've never heard of them. I'm giving them a 9. I am. Because they're good. Right, there we go then, Perfect Drafters. Whatever you're doing this weekend, please do make it an absolute belter. Cheers, Perfect Drafters. Cheers.